All right, everyone. It looks like qualifying is all finished. We are here for the Downforce Racing Series, week number 9 at Bristol Motor Speedway. It should be a very interesting race. I believe we are going to be here for 184 laps. Well, that's qualifying, but I believe we're here for 184 laps. We're going to have a stage break at lap 80. As soon as everybody gets gridded up, we will go over the starting lineup for tonight's race. We have 15 drivers here tonight. Some of them have been pretty prominent in the past few races. I believe Caden Henry Oaks has gone 3 in a row. He won last week at Homestead. He won the week before as well, and the week before that. So Caden Henry Oaks is on a roll. He is third in points. Points leader right now is Jordan Ippolito with 327 points. Second place in points is Vinny Mastis with 325 points. And Caden Henry Oaks in third with 310 points. It should be a very exciting race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, also known as the Coliseum. It is a night race, and if you, unlike me, have been to a Bristol night race, I could imagine it is one sight to see. I definitely do have Bristol on my radar to go there in real life, but nevertheless, we are here. Downforce Racing Series, week number 9 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Get ready to go green here in just a minute. As we look at your starting grid, to no surprise, Caden Henry Oaks on the pole in row number 1. On his outside is going to be John Zerke. Row number 2 on the inside, Vinny Mastis and Jerry Berkson on the outside. Row number 3, Jordan Ippolito on the inside and Dave Hunt on the outside. Row number 4 is going to be Thomas Taylor on the inside, and to his right is going to be Keith Handlin. Row number 5 is going to be Daniel Williams and Fred Williams. And row number 6 is going to be Tyler White and John Anderson. Row number 7 is going to be Bob Lacavera and Mike Whitaker. And riding shotgun is going to be Hanover First. As we take a look at your qualifying times, Caden Henry Oaks with a 14.769 taking the pole for this evening's race. We are looking forward to an exciting race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are going to be here for 180 laps. Stage break at lap 80. Final stage will be 100 laps. Now, don't underestimate the strength of this field with it only being 15 drivers. These guys get after it. They are clean racers. They are fast racers, and they put on a good show. Caden Henry Oaks is going to be looking to make it a 4 in a row as he makes a push for this championship run that he's got. And he is in the Breaking Benjamin Toyota Camry. As the pace car brings him around, the lights are off, which means we're going to go green this time by. Pace car is off.
Green flag. flag.
We are green here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Caden Henry Oaks out in front, down to the inside. Jordan Ippolito right on his tail, followed by the number 44 of John Zerke. These Gen 6 cars are really low to the ground, and they're going to be bottoming out as these guys go into that steep banking in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bristol Motor Speedway is an iconic short track, fast action racetrack. It's been around for decades, and it has been one of the staples here for NASCAR racing generation after generation as we continue to stay green here. Lap number 4 of 180 as we take a look at some of the action in the back of the pack with the number 53 of Dave Hunt. Let's go on board with Dave here and see what he's looking at through his windshield. And we have a car down on the inside. I believe that was John Zerke getting a little loose there and going down onto the apron. And Dave Hunt has that number 57 car of Thomas Taylor in his sights. As most of these drivers are just going to try and stay on the lead lap here, not get stuck a lap down, and hopefully put themselves in a position to come away with a win tonight. Although they have their work cut out for them as Caden Henry Oaks looks pretty strong out in front. Caden Henry Oaks out to about a half a second lead on Ippolito as they come out of turn number 2. Jordan Ippolito in that Ally number 28 Chevrolet Camaro. As we take a look at the battle for 8th position, we have John Anderson and Tyler White. John Anderson in the number 56 Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Daniel Williams and Tyler White close behind. Caden Henry Oaks looking really strong out there, out in the front there. But Ippolito, he's going to give him a run for his money. These guys went back and forth at the Charlotte race just a few weeks ago. And Henry Oaks again coming away with the win there. As the field kind of getting a little bit spread out. Looks like you just have a few groups of guys that are battling for position here. Let's go back and take a look at this battle right here. John Zerke getting ahead of Fred Williams after Zerke spun out and went off the track. Keith Handlin will be our first car 4 laps down. And the number 70 car, Vinny Mastis, is going to be the first driver out of this race. Very unfortunate for that number 70 car, Vinny Mastis. We'll go back and look at the fight for 8th. Tyler White followed very closely by that number 56 of John Anderson as they come across the start-finish line for lap number 16. As we have a live view from the gearbox on board with the number 9 of Tyler White, looking at John Anderson trying to make a run and keep himself in contention here, just inside of that top 10. Keith Handlin passing Hanover first for that 13th position. That number 17 Mountain Dew Chevrolet, do the do. Or do the do-do, whichever you prefer. Short track racing at its finest. Caden Henry Oaks running a 15.54. Jordan Ippolito running a 15.459. So just shy of a tenth of a second. I'm sorry, just shy of, a tenth of a second. Right behind Caden Henry Oaks. Just because it's short track racing doesn't mean you don't have to manage your tires. It is very easy to slide up the track. You see a lot of these guys at some point in the race going to start moving up a lane from that bottom towards the middle and the top. The top is known for getting aggressive runs coming off the corner, especially once that rubber gets laid down on the bottom and the track gets a little slick. So we'll be looking to see how these guys can hold up against the rubber laydown in the heat there on the bottom of the track. Hard charger tonight is going to be that number 9 car of Tyler White. He is up 4 positions since the start of the race. Next closest to him is going to be Jordan Ippolito and John Anderson, both up 3 spots since the start of the race. And Bob Lacavera in that number 5 car, he is up 2 spots in that number 11 position, looking to make his way inside of that top 10 as we get ready to come to lap number 28 of 180. Now, I know I said these guys have been pretty clean in their races. There has been 1 or 2 cautions in one of the last races I have broadcasted. Short track racing, just like any other track, always brings that opportunity for cautions. Let's see how long these guys can stay green here. So we go on board with Bob Lacavera as that number 17 car dives down in front of him right there. Believe that was John Anderson. Or no, I believe that was Daniel Williams, as Lacavera looks to hold his position off from Mike Whitaker in that 707 Chevrolet. That number 56 car of John Anderson sliding up and tapping the wall right there. And we have another car up into the wall, the 95 of Fred Williams. As he goes down onto the apron, he's going to probably come down into pit road and get some damage repaired. Bob Lacavera still holding strong on that inside as he tries to fight off John Anderson and clear him. And he might do it here in this next corner. And he does. He does momentarily get out in front of John Anderson. And Mike Whitaker throwing his name out there. He says, I want a piece of the action. You guys are not going to have all that fun. Ippolito now out to a 5/10 lead over Jordan. I'm sorry. Caden Henry Oaks is out to a 6/10 lead over Jordan Ippolito. As we take a look at your position changes, Caden Henry Oaks has not changed any positions. Ippolito up 3, Bergeron up 1, Hunt up 2, and John Zerke unfortunately down 3 positions. Tyler White has moved up a few positions as well, so is that number 8 car of Daniel Williams, Bob Lacavera, Mike Whitaker, and John Anderson, with the remaining drivers all falling back positions with the exception of Hanover First. As we look at Dave Hunt and John Zerke battling it out for that number 4 position, both drivers want to gain as many points as they can here for their championship run. Dave Hunt currently sitting 7th in points, while John Zerke sitting in 4th. Now, if we take a look at the points difference, Dave Hunt is 40 points behind John Zerke, so he definitely wants to try and finish ahead of him and hope that Zerke can kind of finish back in the pack so that he can climb his name up the championship leaderboard. Let's go take a look at Jerry Bergeron as he is sitting in third position, hoping to capitalize on any mistake that Caden Henry Oaks and Jordan Ippolito can make. Field is kind of spread out here a little bit, well, or a lot. Even though this is a short track, you can get spread out quite quickly. We go on board with Jerry Bergeron. Jerry really working that inside, trying to maintain all his speed, momentum, and control as he exits the corner. And we're going to go take another look at this battle between Bob Lacavera and Mike Whitaker, as these two have just been going back and forth with neither driver wanting to give up a position. Bob Lacavera has just a slight advantage over Mike Whitaker as they go into turn number 2, exiting onto the back straightaway. These two pretty much running nose to tail here throughout the duration of this short run here, these past 10 or 15 laps. John Anderson going a lap down. Bob Lacavera also going a lap down to Caden Henry Oaks, as he might end up lapping the whole field, probably with the exception of Jordan Ippolito, but we do still have 33 laps left in this stage, so anything is possible. And Tyler White goes up and kisses the wall just a little bit as he was coming out of turn number 2. Let's go on board with Tyler White. As you can kind of hear him feathering that throttle, trying to keep the car gripped up and underneath him. And he's almost going to get up into the wall as Ippolito goes ahead and passes him, putting Tyler White a lap down. Mike Whitaker also going a lap down here. And we do have our second driver out of this race. That's going to be the number 57 of Thomas Taylor, unfortunately suffering too much damage and unable to continue. We also have that 17 car of Keith Handlin, who is unfortunately 4 laps down. He'll be hoping to get some lucky dogs and wave arounds, although he will probably not be the first one to get a lucky dog. He's going to have to wait in line. As we go on board here with Caden Henry Oaks, as he is now almost 3 seconds in front of Jordan Ippolito. Kind of a similar situation that we've seen from Caden Henry Oaks here, just kind of sprinting away from the field. He's in a position where he doesn't really need to push. He can just run his race, keep his speed up, and hopefully be up front for that checker flag. As we're on lap 54 of 180. Caden Henry Oaks started first and is still sitting in first. As Jordan Ippolito tries to work around some lap traffic, that number 8 car of Daniel Williams. As these tires start to wear and the cars start to slide around the track, it does make it rather difficult to make some passes here. The last thing you want to do as a lapped car is to get a little bit too free or too tight and end up getting into a car that's on the lead lap, especially a car that coming late race could be in contention for a win here, like that number 28 car of Jordan Ippolito, as he doesn't seem to have any trouble at all getting past that number 8 car of Daniel Williams. Let's go in and take a look at some of this action in the battle for fourth between Dave Hunt and John Zerke. John Zerke wanting to get back up there after starting on the outside pole this evening. Seems like he's kind of getting locked in here. Sometimes making a mistake can either hurt you or help you. In this case, it looks like it's making him a little bit more focused. As he gets on the inside, it makes a little bit of contact right there. With that number 53 car of Dave Hunt. These two, John Zerke and Dave Hunt, they're battling right here, nose to tail right here, as John Zerke looks to slide up on the outside and see if he can't get a run here coming down the back straightaway. That 9 car of Tyler White, he is still on the top 10 here. Not exactly sure who the first car that's going to get the lucky dog here when we get a caution here. I do believe it is going to be Mike Whitaker, as that number 56 car of John Anderson might be on some fresh tires, as he looks like he is just ripping around the field right here, trying to make his way up and get one of his laps back. Caden Henry Oaks way out in front. 5.5 seconds on Jordan Ippolito. 11.5 seconds, almost 12 seconds now on Jerry Bergeron. Jerry now working around some lap traffic here, as he has that number 56 car and that number 8 car of Daniel Williams and John Anderson in front of him, as they are battling a little bit right here. 11 to go in the stage, 10 to go this time by here in stage number 1 in the Downforce Racing Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. There's Mike Whitaker in that camouflage Rolling Rock 707. Mike Whitaker, Downforce Racing Series admin, a retired sign carpenter, and he is a long-time iRacer, been on iRacing for quite some time. Fun fact about Caden Henry Oaks, he is a former interior specialist at Spire Motorsports. So not only is Devin Sanchez having some real-life race experience on a race team, also Caden Henry Oaks. How about that? As we see that number 8 car of Daniel Williams just seem to just keep falling back behind Caden Henry Oaks. Caden Henry Oaks just really has some pace going this lap, as we have 5 laps to go in this stage. 4 to go now across the line as Caden Henry Oaks looks to win stage number 1 here. Caden Henry Oaks here working around some more lap traffic as he goes ahead and looks to get around Dave Hunt, and he is right up on the bumper of Jerry Bergeron, looking to put the fourth place car a lap down. Jerry will, however, be able to get the lucky dog, and not exactly 100% sure on the rules of the league, but the field might be able to get their laps back as Caden Henry Oaks comes across the line for the white flag here. Stage number 1 as he comes out of turn number 4 and comes across for that green-white checkered flag, and your stage 1 winner is Caden Henry Oaks.
Should be a caution. Caution's out. Get a look at your gauges. Everything good?
Caution flag coming out, officially ending stage number 1. Caden Henry Oaks taking the win. Second place, Jordan Ippolito, and in third place, John Zerke. John Zerke bouncing back to take third and gain some stage points here. As the field looks to come down pit lane, some drivers will be staying out, but the rest of the field will be coming down pit lane. If I can figure out which pit lane they'd be using, that would be nice. I do not anticipate much of a race off of pit road here, as Caden Henry Oaks was, I believe, the first or second into his pit stall, and he does win the race off of pit road here. We are on 2 to go here. Should be 1 to go coming to line and getting ready to go green here for the second half of this race. As Caden Henry Oaks looks like he has opted for the outside line on this restart. Lights on the pace car are off. We will be going green this time by the pace car down onto pit lane as Caden Henry Oaks gets a monster of a jump there on the high line, diving it down to turn 1. He looks like he might put on the same type of performance that he put on in stage number 1. Jordan Ippolito going to be looking to figure out what Jordan is doing and try to mimic that so that he can stay in contention as the race goes on and getting into the late race here. And Jordan Ippolito looking like he got a little free there coming off of turn number 4. John Zerke in that number 44 St. Patrick's Day themed car. He's going to be looking for his lucky charm tonight and hopefully be able to come away with the win. Let's go on board with John Zerke here. and kind of get a feel for what his strategy is as he tries to... Oh, in trouble for the number 56 car as he was down on the apron almost. John Anderson. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Mr. Anderson here. Going down to the inside. Caution is out. Oh, and he just gets a little bit loose right there. Head first into the wall. That has got to hurt. Daniel Williams again. He has now crashed. Let's see what happened to Daniel Williams. Looks like he just got free coming around the corner. And that number 707 car, Mike Whitaker, getting into him. Let's see if we can get a different angle of that. He's just getting real free off the corner and absolutely nowhere for Mike Whitaker to go as he goes headfirst into the left rear quarter panel of that number 8 car. Man, that's got to be unfortunate. That's going to bring out our first incident bred caution as Mike Whitaker going around to get his lucky dog lap back. He's going to be looking to go down into the pits and get some damage. It looks like Jordan Ippolito might have crashed as well. Yeah, oh my goodness. Jordan Ippolito getting wrapped up in the carnage here. Let's go back and see what happened there with Jordan. Who did he get into? Oof. That did not look pretty. Oh, man. Oh, man. Daniel Williams trying to get his car positioned correctly and just comes right up the track, and Jordan Ippolito absolutely destroyed his car. Wow. Dave Hunt, this is Front Row Joe in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, buddy. So we've seen some carnage right there with that caution there. Ippolito just getting absolutely destroyed, which is going to put you up in the number 2 spot for this restart. What's kind of going to be your strategy to maintain your position or possibly make a pass on Caden Henry Oaks for the lead here? Yeah, I hear that. I'm going to let you go and let you go green, man. Thank you. Caden Henry Oaks out in front again as we are green for the 3rd time tonight. 2nd under caution, 1st under an incident brought caution. John Zerke right behind Dave Hunt as they come around the start-finish line and complete lap number 98 of 180. 81 laps to go, be 80 to go this time by. Mike Whitaker still in the mix here as he is in the number 4 position. As I believe he does have a lap car in front of him. That's going to be the number 56 car of John Anderson. as we take a look at the iRacing chase cam on that camouflaged Rolling Rock Chevrolet of Mike Whitaker, as Tyler White seems to be having a little trouble on the outside there, getting a little bit loose, tapping the wall as he crosses the start-finish line. Caden Henry Oaks about a second out in front of Dave Hunt. I think that was a little bit of an impulse response right there, mispronouncing his name. I'm so sorry. And most of the field is a lap or more down, with the 5th place position of Jerry Bergeron being a lap down. Caden Henry Oaks has, well, he's done a merry-go-round here, and he's almost lapped the entire field. He said, around you go. As John Zerke getting up real close to the bumper of that number 53 car of Dave Hunt. With the closest, with the closest driver for position is going to be Mike Whitaker, who is three seconds behind these two battling right here, as John Zerke clears Dave Hunt as they go down into turn number 2. Jerry Bergeron just looking to hold his position, because if there is another caution to come out, he will be the first car a lap down, and he will be able to get the lucky dog. And he'll be able to get back on the lead lap and hopefully get some fresh tires and be able to make his contention for the win, as it still is anyone's race, at least in this point in time. As we go live on here on the nose cam with John Zerke, he still has Caden Henry Oaks in his sights. He has pulled 4/10 closer to Caden Henry Oaks. He's shortened that lead down to a half a second. John Zerke is on a mission here to get the lead. After falling back after a slight incident in the beginning of the race, he has fought his way up into the number 2 position here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 66 laps to go. We are on lap 116 officially now of 180 here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Downforce Racing Series. As there is just nobody even close to Zerke right now. He's got almost an entire straightaway length on the next person that would battle him for position, as he gains another 10th on Caden Henry Oaks here. This could potentially be a really close battle here. 63 laps seems like a lot, but when you're running 15-second laps, they're going to empty out pretty quick. John Zerke is slowly closing that gap. It was 1.1 second just about 5 laps ago, and he has shortened that lead to 0.3 of a second. He is about 2 car lengths behind Caden Henry Oaks. He has shortened that lead another 10th here. We're going to have a little bit of a battle here in just a few laps. Wondering if tires have been playing a factor for Caden Henry Oaks, or is John Zerke just that much more efficient? John Zerke really wrapping and rolling those corners here, maintaining his momentum as he comes out of these turns, as Caden Henry Oaks gets a little squirrely there coming out of the turn. He might feel that pressure of John Zerke. John Zerke looking to shatter the four-peat of Caden Henry Oaks here. He's going to have some work cut out for him, but it looks like he is doing pretty good. Dave Hunt in third. Closest car to him is going to be 7 seconds back. Jordan Ippolito here, 5 laps down after getting involved in that racing incident just a few laps ago. As it stands right now, he will more than likely finish inside of the top 10, which will salvage some stage points and hopefully be able to hold on to his points lead, with Vinny Mastis being the closest driver to him. Jordan with 327 points, Vinny Mastis with 325 points. With Mastis out of this race, I can imagine that will not factor in, and Ippolito will at least maintain his gap over Vinny Mastis. As we circle back to this battle between Caden Henry Oaks and John Zerke, these two kind of running very similar times to each other. Caden Henry Oaks with a 15.748, John Zerke with a 15.747. Zerke is actually running a few hundredths of a second faster than Caden Henry Oaks. As we can see here from the gearbox cam of that number 51 Toyota Camry of Caden Henry Oaks, John Zerke, he is not budging. He is right there. He's knocking on that door. And if Caden is not careful, if he leaves that door open just a crack, John Zerke is going to push that thing wide open. As they are getting ready to come up on some lap traffic, that's going to be the number 56 car of John Anderson. John Anderson has came down pit lane. Looks like he might be taking some tires. So he is not going to be a factor in the battle between Caden Henry Oaks and John Zerke, as they are all by themselves here. It is just you and me, mano y mano, is what John Zerke is saying right now. He's, almost looked like he was going to go on the inside of Caden Henry Oaks there, decided to back off. He must have decided that wasn't the time for him to make a move. He might just be trying to figure out that line of Caden Henry Oaks, and he could be practicing for a late race pass. He could be setting up for that late race pass. Mike Whitaker is the hard charger of the night as it stands right now. He is up 10 positions, started 14th. He is currently 4th. The next closest driver for position is going to be that number 53 car of Dave Hunt, who is 5 seconds ahead of Mike Whitaker. Mike Whitaker going to be hoping for a late race caution here. That's going to be the number 9 car in that Napa Chevrolet of Tyler White, sitting in P6. Tyler White up 5 positions from the start of the race. John Zerke has stuck his nose out in front of Caden Henry Oaks here. We are going to have a close battle right here as Caden is really wrapping that outside, trying to get a run here to get back in front of John Zerke, as he's going to have some lap traffic in front of him. That's probably going to slow him down 3 wide momentarily as they come into the corner, rubbing the tires against each other, and a little door bang right there as they come down into the turn here. 37 laps to go. It is currently John Zerke who has cleared Caden Henry Oaks for the race lead. John Zerke showing poise and patience as he waited for the right opportunity to get past Caden Henry Oaks. And let's wait and see if John Zerke can officially slam that door shut on Caden Henry Oaks here and come away with the checkered flag and the race win. John Zerke making a phenomenal comeback up to this point in the race to get himself out in front. So far, it has been a phenomenal showing by John Zerke, being able to come back from falling down in positions to being up the race lead almost a second now in front of Caden Henry Oaks. Let's go on board here with Dave Hunt, as he has a lap car right behind him. Dave not having much to worry about. That 56 car of John Anderson has fresher tires, so he's just going to go ahead and let him go by. No use in fighting a lap car for position. But Dave, at this point, doesn't really have anything to worry about. Mike Whitaker's 2.5 seconds behind him, although we have seen stranger things happen here with John Zerke coming from pretty much all the way in the back of the field up to leading this race. Dave Hunt from Dallas, Texas. He's a professor at Embry Aeronautical College. Dallas, Texas is a beautiful area. I've been there a few times. I've always said to myself, if I was going to move out of North Carolina, my 2 options would be Florida or Texas. We'll go on board here in the cockpit with Caden Henry Oaks, as he is just watching John Zerke pull away here. John Zerke 2 seconds out in front here. He is doing to the field in stage 2 what Caden Henry Oaks did to the field in stage 1, and he is just absolutely pulling away. Jordan Ippolito. Man, I hate it for Jordan. It's never fun, and it's never a good thing when you're involved in the wreck, especially when it involves a car that is trying to get back on the track squared away so he can continue on. almost nothing that he could have done there. As we go back and take a look at the crash here that has taken Jordan Ippolito pretty much out of this race. Man, I hate it for him. I really do. He's still in a good position, though. He's moved up to 8th. So he's still going to walk away with some race finish points, as well as some stage points. Caution is out here.
Give me status under car there.
Caution is out on lap 163, and that is going to be Bob Lacavera getting involved. Let's see what happened here. Bob going down on the inside, and he just comes right around, slides up on the track, and he just gets loose and goes into the wall, slides up on the track. Just enough to bring that caution out. You can see he tried to sneak up a little bit to get off the track to avoid that caution coming out, but unfortunately it has brought the caution out, and that is not what John Zerke wanted to see. John Zerke and Caden Henry Oaks are now going to be battling like you cannot imagine, now that they're both going to be on fresher tires. And the race off of pit road is on. John Zerke with just a slight advantage with his pit crew, and he is off. And Caden Henry Oaks gonna win the race off pit road as John Zerke spins his tires just a little bit too much. But I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. With Caden Henry Oaks being in that number 1 pit stall, all he had to do was stick his nose out in front of that yellow line. We are going to have an interesting 14 laps of racing. Probably going to be 13 laps once we go green. Third caution of the night. Second due to a racing incident. Your stage 1 winner again is Caden Henry Oaks, who has now got in the lead. He is going to have the choose of position. Decide whether he wants to run the inside line or the outside line for this restart. Either line he chooses, he is going to make and force John Zerke to get creative. Caden Henry Oaks is thinking, John, if you want to beat me, you're going to have to do it on my terms. Lights on the pace car are off. We are 1 to green as we restart on lap number 168. And Caden Henry Oaks and John Zerke spins his tires. Oh no! And a little bit of contact there from the number 56 car. As Caden Henry Oaks now is going to have to battle with Dave Hunt. Dave Hunt was kind of struggling there at one point until John Zerke was able to get up there and pass him. And Zerke ended up getting the lead for a few laps there. John Zerke is definitely frustrated that that caution came out. And he's going to be even more frustrated that he spun his tires on that restart. Nine laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Downforce Racing Series. John Zerke, hoping that he still has enough left in the tank to make a shot for the race lead, as he is just over a second behind Caden Henry Oaks. Now, if we remember, John Zerke had cut down the same gap earlier in this race to take the race lead. Can he do it again with 8 laps to go? Caden Henry Oaks at this point in time is maintaining a second lead. As we watch from the gearbox cam of that number 51 Toyota, as we watch Dave Hunt and John Zerke battle it out, and Zerke looks to get to the inside of Dave Hunt. 5 laps to go. Zerke surging to the inside of Dave Hunt, as we are now 5 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Caden Henry Oaks has extended his lead to just over 1.5 seconds. John Zerke does not look he's going to have the juice to get out in front of Caden Henry Oaks, who has positioned himself to go 4 in a row. We will be coming to the white flag this time by white flag is out. Caden Henry Oaks coming out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Now into turn number 3 to the inside of Jordan Ippolito. And Caden Henry Oaks, 4 wins in a row here in the Downforce Racing Series. Unofficial results are Caden Henry Oaks, John Zerke, Dave Hunt, Mike Whitaker, Jerry Bergson, rounding out your top 5 as Caden Henry Oaks comes down to do his victory burnout. We are unfortunately not going to be able to interview Caden Henry Oaks, as he is not in the Discord. However, we are going to go ahead and interview John Zerke here. John Zerke, front row Joe in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
Man, so I can imagine that. I can imagine your frustration here with that late race caution coming out as you were starting to walk away from Caden Henry Oaks here. What was it? What did that feel like to be so far out in front and have that caution come out so late in the race?
Well, I knew when I took the lead there was, I think, 30 some laps to go. I was like, that's going to be a long time, but I was easily pulling away. It was a good feeling to get around him, and would have been a pretty awesome way to win a race, be honest with you, especially on my birthday. But the caution came out, and he just beat me out of the pits slightly, and then I was on the outside on the restart, and I just figured I was going to have to get a really good restart, and I spun the tires. But considering how fast I was there at the end, I guess if I would have just had a normal restart, I maybe would have had a chance at him. But oh man, that one stings a little bit because it felt like I was pretty close.
Still a phenomenal finish, though, and a phenomenal performance after that little incident you got in the beginning of the race, sent you back in the field a little bit. You battled your way up to the front, not coming away with the win, but still coming away with the podium. I'd like to say congratulations on a hard-fought battle. Is there anybody that you want to thank or give a shout out to?
Well, hopefully it showed up on the broadcast, but yeah, Ron painted me this special paint job for St. Patty's Day, so it looked pretty good from my side. So hopefully it showed up on the broadcast.
It did, and I can tell you, I spotted it out, and I gave it a shout out because I thought tonight was going to be your lucky charm. So,
Nope.
right.
Oh well.
We'll end it. We'll end that on a high note. I'd like to say again, congratulations on your second place finish, and happy birthday.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Dave Hunt, front row Joe in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, so congratulations on your podium. Kind of walk me through what your strategy was going to be on that late race restart to hopefully get yourself in a position for a win.
Yeah, those guys are a little bit faster than me. I just couldn't save my tires like them. So I don't know. Just trying to stay out of trouble. That was my biggest thing.
Yeah, these short track races, they can bring some cautions, and I definitely applaud you guys at Downforce Racing Series for being so poised and keeping it clean for the majority of the race.
Yeah, there's some really good drivers in here. That's what makes it a lot of fun.
It sure does. Let me take a look at the points here. Let me go ahead. So you're 7th in points right now. Hopefully these points will get you in front of some of these other guys. You might end up pulling ahead of Philip Sanchez as he was unable to make this race. You're still in a good position for some championship points here towards the end of the league. What is going to kind of be your outlook on the rest of the season and hopefully gaining a lot of championship points to put you in contention here?
Yeah, I just show up and have fun. And like I said, I just like to stay out of trouble. I'd rather have a clean race and not get involved with anything. And wherever I finish is where I finish. But it's fun when you can get up in front here and finish on the podium. Yeah, I'll just continue to try to do that, I guess.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more fun trying to battle in the front than it is battling in the rear. But nevertheless, congratulations on your podium, Dave, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot there, front row Joe.
You're very welcome. Caden Henry Oaks, front row Joe in the booth. How's it going?
All right, nothing to complain about.
Yeah, and nothing new here either. You've won 4 in a row. How does that feel?
Feels good. Getting in that championship fight. Like I said last time, had a pretty bad start to the season. So, I think I'm really close. If not, maybe I might have taken a points lead tonight. So, feel really good about that.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, you are 17 points behind Jordan Ippolito. And with his 8th place finish, you are definitely going to gain more points than him, being that you've won stage 1 and you've won the race. So it looks like you're in contention now, but it looks like you've almost positioned yourself to take the points lead here in this season. So halfway through stage 1, Zerke got past you and started to pull away. Before that caution came out, what were you thinking as far as how you could figure something out to get up front again and contend with John?
Well, when he got past me, I kind of figured that was the end of it, more or less, because he took tires on the yellow and I didn't. I stayed out there for the track position, and it felt like I had him covered. But the advantage of him having those 7 less green flag laps on the tires was pretty huge, actually. As when you run it hard, uh, you probably lose about 6 tenths the first 10 laps, and then it'll level off at about a second the whole run. But you lose a lot of time early, and then you're kind of slowly going. Like it took probably 30 laps to go from that 6 tenths off at lap 10 to you're running. You're kind of slowly vaning off until about lap 40 it leveled off at like a second a lap.
Yeah, and I said it at the beginning of the race, just because it's a short track doesn't mean you don't have to manage your tires. It's very easy on these short tracks. You know, you're coming in with a lot of speed into these corners, and if you're not feathering your throttle and putting the right amount of brake in there, you could get super tight going in, and you can get super tight or super loose coming out. So it looks like that that late race caution definitely gave you a huge tire advantage. Because you were a whole heck of a lot faster than the rest of the field on fresh tires. So either way, it was a fun race to watch. Congratulations on the win, and also congratulations on going 4 in a row. Is there anyone that you would like to thank or give a shout out to here before we sign off?
Shout out to Bob and Terry and Mike. They put the league on for what we do here. It's fun to show up and be able to race a couple nights a week and have fun doing it. The guys are clean and race with respect. So shout out to them. Thank you, Joe, for coming on board and doing the broadcast. I like going back and watching tape of the races, and like even when we had them broadcast previously, I tend to go back just to kind of watch tape and study how these guys race, because I've only been racing with these guys for a year. So it's pretty nice to be able to do that. My mom is watching, believe it or not. I convinced her to watch these races just that way we can get the view count up. Yeah, that's really all I got.
Well, hello, Mrs. Henry Oaks. Hopefully she has the same last name and I'm not sounding like an idiot. But congratulations on your win, and we will see you next week at Texas Motor Speedway.
Thank you, Joe.
You're very welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. Your official results, as it stands, your winner, Caden Henry Oaks. Second place is John Zerke. Third place, Dave Hunt. Fourth place is going to be Mike Whitaker. Rounding out your top 5 is Jerry Bergeron. Sixth place is Tyler White. Seventh place, Keith Handlin. Eighth place, Jordan Ippolito. Ninth place is going to be John Anderson. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Bob Lacovera. In 11th place is going to be Daniel Williams. 12th place is going to be Fred Williams. 13th place is going to be Thomas Taylor. 14th place is Hanover First. And rounding out the field in 15th place is Vinny Mastas, or Mastis. With that being said, next week we're going to be live the same time. We will be at Texas Motor Speedway at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when we're going to go live here. We are live on all the major streaming platforms except for the Green app. I haven't got that all set up yet, but we're on the black, the purple, and the red. We look forward to seeing you. I unfortunately don't exactly know what my viewer count is, but nevertheless, if it's 1 or if it's 100, we're here. We're going to have a good time doing it, and we're going to put on the best show that we can possibly give under the given circumstances. So, with that being said, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be live, Texas Motor Speedway, in the Downforce race